I think of not just the communists, but the fascists. And yet here is an organization that purports to be anti-fascist.
Yeah, I think they have a lot more in common with the Mussolinis, the brown shirts, that in our undercover tapes, they're wearing black masks. That bears a lot more in common with the fascism of the early 20th century than they would have you believe.
Who is fueling or funding the groups loosely called Antifa?
Tom Steyer's name came up a lot in California. He's a billionaire. Another name that's come out publicly, open source records, has been George Soros.
George Soros is one of the richest men in the world. He styles himself as anti-fascist, but his own history has a different story to tell.
When the Nazis occupied Budapest in 1944, George Soros' father was a successful lawyer. He lived on an island in the Danube and liked to commute to work in a rowboat. But knowing there were problems ahead for the Jews, he decided to split his family up.
Schnell! Was machst du? Du Schweine Jude! Schnell! Los, los, los! Schnell!
And he bribed a government official to take 14-year-old George Soros in and swear that he was his Christian godson. But survival carried a heavy price tag. While hundreds of thousands of Hungarian Jews were being shipped off to the death camps, George Soros accompanied his phony godfather on his appointed rounds, confiscating property from the Jews.
I was 14 years old, and I would say that that's when my character was made.
In what way?
That one should think ahead, one should understand and anticipate events.
My understanding is that you went out with this protector of yours who swore that you were his adopted godson.
Yes.
Went out, in fact, and helped in the confiscation of property from the Jews.
That's right. Yes.
I mean, that sounds like an experience that would send lots of people to the psychiatric couch for many, many years. Was it difficult?
Not at all. Not at all. It created no problem at all.
No feeling of guilt?
No. Well, actually, funny way, it's just like in markets, that if I weren't there, of course I wasn't doing it, but somebody else would be taking it away anyhow. In other words, whether I was there or not, I was only a spectator, the property was being taken away. So I had no role in taking away that property. So I had no sense of guilt.
Are you religious?
No.
Do you believe in God?
No.
The issue is not what Soros did as a teenager. It is that today, as an adult, he sees nothing wrong with what he did and would seemingly be willing to do it again. Soros' self-justification echoes an argument made by one of the most notorious Nazis himself.
During my work at the gypsy camp, I came across Mengele and watched his activities. I personally observed him infecting gypsy twins with typhus in order to observe whether the twins reacted differently or in the same way. Shortly after they had been infected, they were gassed. Do you believe that your father was responsible for this?
Personally, he did not assume he did it. He thought he is a member of a concentration camp. He is not responsible for it because he did not invent the concentration camp.
Enough big lies. It is time to tell the truth. The progressive Democrats are the true racists. They are the true fascists.